see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, December 16th, 2024, and welcome to episode 817 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and today I am enjoying a light Ethiopian, fantastic bean from foodforestfarms.com, where you can get 10% off with the discount code LOTS10, and the shipping's always free. While you're there, check out C4 Club. If you missed the C4 Club annual sale, where you can get 12 months of fantastic coffee delivered to your door for the price of 10, you need to contact me or Brian over at foodforestfarms.com. Go to the website, send them a message, say, hey, I missed it. And is there any way I can get in before the first of the year? You might be able to. The button's gone on the website, but you can still message him for a little time left there. First of the year, he will shut it down and it'll be done. But C4 Club is fantastic. Like I said, the best coffee I've ever had delivered right to my door every month. So I appreciate you checking that out over at foodforestfarms.com. Today I'm going to be chatting about a driveway progress on our place, a little bit of a muddy road situation we got going on. Christmas lights, we have a little bit of mystery going on around here. Kori's Critters live stream update on that. I have some thoughts on the new, I guess, conspiracy theory. I don't know if we'll call it a conspiracy theory. We'll talk about drones in New Jersey and the like, and whatever else comes up. We'll see how long we hang out, and let's get into it. Let's see who's hanging out in the live chat. Say hello, and then we'll get into the topics for the day. Just making sure everything's up and firing here. Good morning, Hunter, over on Twitch. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that as always. Pip, good morning. Heading to the East Coast to install ceiling fans with Dad. Sounds like a decent Monday. John Palmer, good morning, good day, and good week to you, sir. How's everybody been? I hope you had a good week. The new show frequency, I don't know if it's necessarily working for you guys. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for popping in. But it is definitely more productive on my end. I'm taking advantage and making the most of the time that I freed up, and it kind of is what it is at this point. We'll see how it goes. It's going well for me. I feel like the show was better last week than it was prior to that. We'll see how it goes today and moving forward. So it is what it is. GSD, Pip says, yeah, hashtag GSD. Getting shit done every day, trying. I think I mentioned last week that we were picking up solar panels last week. It was scheduled for last Friday. That ended up, I have to apologize to Hunter. Hunter says, I'm happy it's working for you, but it's made my week boring. There's nothing else on weekday mornings, on Tuesday through Friday mornings that folks want to listen to. I don't know about that, but anyway, I said last week that that we were picking up solar panels on Friday. That schedule got shifted around. Trailer issues with getting the trailer, and the timing just didn't work out. But that's tomorrow now. So this week is pretty packed coming up. We'll do a little weekly preview here first as we get rolling. Weekly preview. Picking up trailer tonight. I gotta get all my office work for the week done today. This evening, I'm picking up a trailer and holding it overnight. Tomorrow, I drive pretty much 3/4 of the way across the state. Well, I guess I'm a quarter of the way. So about halfway across the state to pick up a whole load of solar panels, bring them back here. And I'll talk about it. Good morning, Take the Ride. Thanks for stopping. I'll talk about it a little later with the road, but we've had a significant amount of rain in the last week or so, and the road to get back to our site is pretty pretty soft. Let's say there's been some things going on, some work being done on the road, this, that, and I knew last week that I wasn't going to attempt to take a rented 20-foot trailer with 5,000 pound load on it back to our site. A, I didn't want to figure out how to turn it around. B, I didn't want to get stuck. C, I just didn't want to get stuck. And D, I didn't know if I'd be able to get it up some of the hills with how wet and mucky and slippery it is with the clay right now. So I was making alternative plans for that. I've gone through a couple different ideas, and I think we settled on, well, definitely settled on one because I'll be coming back tomorrow with them. But found the most effective and least likely to cause issues solution for the short term. So basically, I'm going to be dropping them somewhere else in this area, and then sorting, testing, doing all that at that location, and then transporting them when things dry up to our place. So that's this week. So that's going to occupy this evening, all day tomorrow, because it's 4 hours one way. So that's 8 hours of driving plus loading and all of that stuff. And then Wednesday, I'll be continuing to unload the trailer, return the trailer. Thursday, I got interviews for Director Detour, and Friday somebody's got to go get groceries and do laundry. So it's rough. it's a rough week this week. So it's going to be busy, and a lot of busy, but not like driving stuff. So we'll see. Good morning, Rewilder Life. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. John Palmer says if something else was going on Tuesday through Friday, it would be going on Monday also. But this would preempt the Monday. Sorry. I know I disappointed all of you. How about you take this show and divide it into 5 and listen to a little bit of it every week or every day? I don't know. Or just replay this every day. All right. So that's this week coming up. Grabbing the solar panels that got pushed. That got pushed from last week, and yeah, it is what it is. We'll see. Fingers crossed, everything goes smooth. And I don't know how much I've talked about solar panels, but they're used panels. They're so unbelievably cheap that we're expecting a lot to not be functional. Even if every 1 out of 3 is functional, the price is still phenomenal. So it's one of those deals, and a lot of sorting and a lot of figuring out. But who knows? Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we get a bunch of good stacks, and we end up with a 50 or 75% good rate, which would make them even cheaper. And so that's good. But it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of moving, and I think I'm in it on my own for this one. So 60 pound solar panels. I get to move. Woohoo! Yeah. Let me see. I got some notes here. Reminder notes. Clip contest. Yeah, guys, Jim is going to run away with this thing. Jim is going to have so many entries compared to everybody else. If you have not been over to Fountain to make clips of Director Detour or this show, episode 816 or later, you're missing out on a chance to win a Blockstream Jade hardware wallet, which with the price of Bitcoin, I know it's down today. You're going to want to buy it. It's on sale, 103,000. We were up playing in the 105, 104 range last night. But if you want to win a Blockstream Jade, all you have to do to get an entry into the drawing is head over to fountain.fm, find Director Detour or this show, make a clip, and you are in. Jim has been over there clipping away. Jim is a clip master, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, it's easy. It's simple. Listen to an episode. I mean, really, in actuality, you only have to listen to a minute or so of an episode and make the clip. But I encourage you to listen to a whole episode and make a clip over there. And then if you want to promote the clip, that's fine. If you want to share it, that's fine. All you got to do to get in the entry is actually just make the clip. And I will be drawing that at the end. At the beginning. At the beginning of February. The clip contest will run through the end of January. At that point, I will gather up all the numbers and make the drawing. But as it looks right now, it is not going to be that much of a contest. So head on over there, share I made a clip with the contest, so you can share that with your friends. If you see a post about it, if you would share it on your socials and let other people. Director Detour is growing nicely. Yeah, it's growing nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure what growth rates to expect with that. It's going well. This week coming up. Oh, wow. Mike says no one found any content worth clipping yet. Whew. Wow. That's rough. We'll just shut her down. I don't even need to do once a week anymore or 3 interviews a week. I'll just shut it down and do other shit. Director Detour this week coming up. We got Roy Coughlin. Roy Coughlin is a podcast coach. He's got multiple podcasts. He's is an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, like a lot of folks that I talk to over there. He's released today. David Sowers on Wednesday. He is the CEO and founder of Royal Restrooms, high-end porta potties. It's a fantastic episode. It's pretty funny. And if you get a chance to get to the Patreon and watch the video feed of that interview, this dude's set and outfit, I guess you'd call it, is phenomenal. If you get a chance to go to the Patreon page for Director Detour and check out the video feed of the interview, it's worth it. I mentioned it in the audio, so you'll have to check that out. And then Roman Fisher is a performance coach, and he is coming up on Friday. He actually submitted a guest post for the Patreon page. I got to get it loaded up, but it's a beginner workout, so at home workout. So that'll be free for everyone over on the Patreon page on Friday when Roman's episode is released. John Palmer says king shit. Yeah, the jokes were endless for sure with the Royal Restrooms. So that was a solid. I mean, you'll have to wait and listen to the interview, but the break that they got was pretty sweet. And the business model and the philosophy behind it is great. So that's what we got. Roy Coughlin, David Sowers, and Roman Fisher this week on Director Detour. Check it out, and be sure to check out. And has anybody? So I made the npub.pro page. I shared it in the Telegram group regarding Director Detour. It's npub.pro is something that comes through Nostr. It basically gathers your notes from Nostr, and you can kind of divide them up and choose which ones you show and which ones you don't. And it's a pretty simple way to make up a website. But when I shared it in the Telegram group, it seemed like people were having issues accessing it. Not everybody. Certain folks were, and they're like their ISP. Their ISP was blocking it. Their internet provider was blocking it. Browsers were blocking it. Things like that. And then other people had no issues. No issues whatsoever pulling it up. And so I don't know what's going on with that. Sorry, Norman's thirsty. He'll be drinking for the next minute and a half, but it's I don't know. It works well for me. I had some other folks that were using it that said that it worked just fine. And I don't know, but you can find that at Director Detour, all one word, .npub.pro. directordetour.npub.pro, npub.pro. Check it out. Check it out. It's basically just a link to all my Noster notes. You don't need Noster, anything like that to check it out. Chris Dixon says, I guess some of us have good spam blockers. Good morning to you, Chris Dixon. It has been a long time. Spam? I don't know. I guess my browsers, maybe my browsers know the type of sites I go to. I don't know. I don't know why. Or maybe your internet provider is deciding what you get to see and what you don't. Instead of letting you decide. There is that too. So we'll see. Director Detour. I got my list over here. Driveway progress. Really pretty much the only progress on our site or Delinquent Scully this week, other than just normal run of the mill maintenance and filming videos and things like that. Is we I talked about last week that we kind of have a plan now that we're gonna have the driveway put in. We're going to have the people we're getting the metal from install the posts and the trusses and the roof. If I could meet him out there and he could decide if he could get his material and his equipment up to the site. Met with, this would have been before last week, met with the guy that was going to put the driveway in. Talked about stuff. I had to call and get a quote on some rock to put in. And I did that and discussed with the rock people. I said, well, when can you deliver it? They're like, tomorrow if you want. But if it's wet, if it's, we don't want to get stuck. And I completely understand that. And so I took a trip out and it was a little squishy with my truck. We got some more rain. I went out the next day. It was a little more squishy. And so I was going to hold off on ordering the rock. And all of a sudden, I get a picture this weekend of the driveways cut in. So he didn't care about having the rock to do it. He had the equipment, he had the time, and he cut us a swath up to the property. So it's installed. The driveway's cut in. There's more work to be done. Obviously, I have to get the rock back there. But with the rain and the solar panel, the same thing with the solar panels. With the rain, the road is just an absolute mud hole, and I don't think driving dump trucks back there is ideal at this point. So I talked to him. I said, "Yeah, man, it's going to be a while." I was like, "Don't worry about it. Just have him drop the rock back there when you're ready, and I'll bring the equipment back, and we'll get it done." But Kori and I went out yesterday, walked back. We did not drive back. We walked back, and I ended up walking up the driveway. It's pretty. I mean, it's steep. It's steep. I think it'll be fine. Right now, it is like a slip and slide. Kori definitely had the video, the video recorder out when I was coming down. Well, she did it going up and down the hill to hopefully grab a good video. But I stayed up on my pegs. I did not fall. I did not slip too much on the way down. But yeah, it's cut in. That's kind of exciting. I think this is something where I don't need to meet the builder out at the site anymore. I think the fact that he was able to cut that driveway in with the same type of equipment that the guy has to move the material were probably good. To go ahead and move forward with that project. So Driveway is cut in. Now we're just waiting on Mother Nature to stop pissing rain on us for a while and let things dry up so we can get some rock back there and get things compacted down, get the rock laid down. And John Palmer says she videoed up and down. Kinky. Yeah. She videoed the whole up and down. Everything. And so it's a mess here right now with the rain. We've gotten it hasn't been like, I wouldn't say it's been a huge amount. It's been pretty consistent over a couple days, and some hard downpours, and then it just isn't having a chance to dry out in between. And then the next rain comes, so everything is getting soaked in the top layer in the clay. The road, the guy that did the driveway was also doing some work on the road. He ended up, it didn't look like he quite finished what he was doing. But he had the road cut back in and compacted down, but didn't have any chert to put on it. And so it was fine until it started raining. And now with the rain, all the hills, the two hills that he he worked on are just clay. And it's a little slickery and soft out there. When we went yesterday to go check out the driveway, we had no intention of driving back there. We had no intention of trying the road. We stopped at Jamie Ping's and was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's the car up here. There's somebody at the end of the road that's parking by his place and walking in and out." And he's like, and then somebody else put it in the ditch. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't think there are any ditches on this road. I'm really curious to see what actually happened. And so Kori and I, we finished the conversation. We headed back to check out the driveway, and we're walking along, and there's this Jeep, and it's just like sitting on the side of the road, and you could tell it was stuck buried. But I really wasn't sure what was going on with it. And as we got closer, you could see what I think happened. Kori thinks she might have slid or hit the brakes and slid. It might have been. I was kind of looking at her tracks. It almost looked like she just missed the road. When the guy did the work on this particular area, he was basically cutting off the top of a hill and pushing it into the valley to make the hill less steep, less hot, less altitude, and just make it a little easier to bring campers in and out, things like that, instead of a huge down and up. And so the old compacted road ended up a little wider when he was pushing the fill down into the bottom and down into the ditches and where the runoff into the little collection area. And it looked like the road got really wide. I kind of knew better, and this was only in a small section, but the compacted road was in the center. And what it looked like to me is she was driving and she just got off to the side a little bit. And as she was coming up to the sluice pipe that's there, her driver's side tire got into the stuff that really wasn't compacted. It was just the new dirt that kind of spilled over the road edge, and it just buried. I posted a couple pictures in the Telegram group, and she's just like buried to her bumper. No fun at all by any means. But it looked like she just was driving and bloop, away it went. Quicksand. I don't know. So she's stuck there. We didn't drive back with the history of our truck and how well that does in the mud. We did not go back and try to get back there with that, and just checked out the Jeep, went for a nice walk. It's about a third of a mile from Jamie's to our driveway. So not horrible. Pretty slickery and muddy, but not bad. Pip says, did you leave her a duction cup? I did not. I mean, I got nothing really horrible to say about the woman. I've interacted with her less than a handful of times, but some people that I talk to have had some pretty rough interactions with her, and let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. Let's say that no one was rushing to help pull her out of being stuck in the road. You can take that for whatever you would like. Good bless you, Kori. Hopefully, yeah, you can figure that one out. So she's stuck there. There's a Mustang that they drive in and out of there that's staying out by the road and not taking the mud trap back. And yeah, that's where we're at. That's why Brian's not taking the trailer with all the solar panels and his truck in and out of there. Maybe I should bring her some suction cups. That I like that idea now. There you go. Sorry about your luck. Chris Dixon says a Jeep and a Mustang owner, enough said. Right? And it's one of the really nice Mustangs too. Not one of those yeah, not the good 60s, 70s. So anyway, well, and Chris says Jeep and a Mustang owner. The fact that Jeep and a Mustang owner on that road, I guess the Jeep is fine. It's that would work okay, but the fact that they drive Mustangs in and out of that road really make me question them. John Palmer says, I'm not sure that's a real Jeep. It's a Grand Cherokee. It's Pip is a Grand Cherokee. I had a Grand Cherokee at one point in my life, and I took it some places that probably shouldn't have gone and was just fine. I don't know. Is Grand Cherokee an actual Jeep? You guys might have saw in the Telegram group we got the Christmas lights up on the camper. That was short-lived. Yeah, they're not on anymore. We have a mystery we're trying to figure out. We're not sure if we'll ever figure it out or we'll know what actually happened. But Pip confirms Grand Cherokee is a soccer mom Jeep. Thanks, Pip. Did you type that after I said I had one? I guess it was my ex-wife's. So Kori and I got new Christmas lights this year. So we had the same little cheap solar Christmas lights from when we were in Texas. So 2 winters. They had been hit by the weed eater. They had been tripped over. They were in rough shape, and they were really inexpensive. So we were happy that they lasted a couple of years, but Kori wanted new Christmas lights, so we ordered them up. We got more cheapy, relatively inexpensive solar. You just put them out, and they're good, and you hope you get 2 or 3 seasons out of them, and then you just throw them away and buy new ones. So we got them. We put them out. They looked great. They had like 19 different settings, and we went through them all. We got them all set how Kori wanted them. We took video. We saw them the first night. The second night, they were on, and then it must have been a few nights. Yesterday morning, Kori heard something. It was around light time, so the sun was already coming up. It was light outside. She heard this big bang outside. And we didn't really think much of it. And it just happens. Like the birds fly into the side of the camper, or the dog tails hit the wall of the camper. You don't really know what's going on, and didn't think much anything of it. We get ready to go to take the dogs for a walk, and we leash them up. We're coming around the side of the camper, and these Christmas lights are the kinds that have an individual little solar panel for each one on the little spike. You stick the spike in the ground and you aim the solar panel out at the sun, and it has the little control panel on it. And we're walking by, and I'm like, "Where's the other solar panel?" There are two of them. Where did the other one go? First of all, it's hooked to the lights. Second, like, where did it go? It couldn't have gone far. We were having trouble keeping them upright because the soil is so rocky and it's a plastic spike, so you couldn't really get it into the ground that far. And so they were tipping over, but this thing just wasn't there. And I'm like, I don't know. So I hand Kori Norman, and I walk over, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, it's gone. And I look at the camper, and the first row of lights is like all ripped off the camper. They're like flapping in the breeze. And so I grab the lights, and I look, and the wire is like broke apart. Kori finds the solar panel out in the yard, and we're like, what the fuck happened? The only thing we can think of, oh no, the only thing we can think of is that a deer or a dog or possibly even a predator bird got tangled in the line in between the camper and the solar panel and just ripped it out. I have experienced this with like tent guidelines. It happens with our shower all the time, especially when in the winter, when I'm going out to turn the water on and off in that part of the yard. I'll come around and I'll forget that the guide line is there and catch it with my foot. Usually it pulls the stake out or whatever, but this looks like maybe it got hooked on enough that as it started to run away, it yanked it out in the yard, because we found the solar panel pretty far out into the yard. Pip was wondering if it was heavy winds or a lawnmower. It definitely wasn't heavy winds to do what that did. Lawnmower, no, it hasn't. We haven't had to use the lawnmowers here in a month or two. We're really thinking that it was either a dog, because of like it was so close to the camper that I mean, like 3-4 feet. It would have had to be within 3 feet of the camper. And it just like the way where it is and how it's lined up, we're wondering if a deer was running through there, a dog was behind the camper and took off and ran through, or it's right underneath where the bird feeders are. So we're wondering if the birds were on the ground grabbing the seed that's on the ground, and a predator bird might have swooped down from a perch and got caught in the cord. I don't know. It's Chris Dixon says it was probably a chupacabra. It could have been a chupacabra. Kori, it was a chupacabra. So I went out last night. I thought that probably one of the lights was broken. I went out last night after dark, and they're all bad. None of them are working. So I don't know if it's worth trying to fix them, or Kori said we're not ordering new lights because it's already December 15th, and so we might be out of Christmas joy this year. I don't know. Kori left the lights on until like June last year, so who knows? Maybe we'll order them right after Christmas. Chris Dixon says we caught a dude trying to steal our decorations on Thursday. He found out he cannot outrun a dog. Don't you have a large scary dog too? Hunter was expecting to hear a lithium ion battery explosion. No, it was just something tore the Christmas lights all up. Tore them right apart. Broke the wires. Yeah, I was kind of baffled there for a little bit. Still am. Really wish we had the live stream up and going. That's a great transition into Kori's Critters live stream. Did some testing yesterday. I am struggling greatly with getting OBS to work on the Raspberry Pi I have. And so I've tried. Chris Dixon says a very stealthy bull mastiff. I've been working on this Raspberry Pi, trying to get this live stream going from some Wise 3 security cameras. I can get it to work. Well, I thought I could get it to work with OBS on my computer. So I'm able to pick up the camera feed in my OBS software and broadcast that to wherever I want. I'm having still issues with the feed staying current. I'm not sure what that's all about. Yesterday was the first testing we had, and it was dropping behind. So by the evening, when I went to shut down OBS, the stream had been off for quite a while, but I was leaving it on OBS to see what was going on. By the time I looked at it at like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, it was only at 4 o'clock on the feed. But the timer in the corner, the timestamp was still counting up. So I'm not sure where we're getting that lag and where the lag is continuing to grow. Kori and I were noticing it when we were watching it during the day, but then we shut it down, and I just had the feed open in OBS, and I happened to notice that it got further and further and further through the day. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Raspberry Pi and why I can't get OBS to work on it. So that project's kind of in the wind at the moment, trying to figure out what to do with it, how to rectify these issues that I'm coming up with. Chris Dixon says, I enjoyed the bird live feed. Disappointed there were no pigeons, right? We did have 7 different types of birds it was up for like 3 hours. We had male and female cardinals. We had male and female house finches. We had chickadees, titmice, red-bellied woodpeckers. I don't know. There's something else. On the list. I can't remember. But yeah, we got a big variety of birds that pop into that thing, and it was busy pretty consistently through the whole live stream. And so hopefully I can get that figured out with the issues I'm having, and we can get that up pretty consistently. And how that's going to go is bird feeder during the light when you can see the feeder, obviously, and the birds are actually active. And then we'll go to the snail tank feed once the bird feeder's done for the day. We'll put it in the snail tank feed because in the dark is when they are most active, and the camera can kind of see. Has night vision enough that you could tell what was going on. We have some camera positioning stuff to work out, but it looked like it would work too. So it'll be good once it's good. But like I said, this week is pretty packed, so I don't know how much I'll get to work on it this week. Maybe next weekend when things get squared away with the solar panels and such. So we'll see. That's the bird live stream, and yeah, who knows? Maybe there was a predator bird coming to prey on the little birds that were feeding in the feeder. So solar lights and bird feeder. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Everything's going to shit around here. So, yeah. Chris Dixon says, beware of the reflections. Yeah, we're definitely working on the reflection stuff. That is one thing we noticed. First thing with the tank was reflections. So, and I didn't notice too much reflection with the bird feeder during the day. I don't know. We'll work on that. So, what else is on the list here? You guys been watching these drones? Have you guys been watching? What is it? New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. The car-sized drones that are hovering at night over these places. From what I understand, it's only at night, and I ignored it for as long as I could. I really. Hunter says you could purposely do reflections. You get a whole lot of viewers. If there's people that want to see that, I mean, maybe Kori, but if I was back there on the reflection, they'd be turning it off as quick as possible. Or they would have to stay on and examine, be like, what the fuck is that? So I've tried to ignore these drones. The drone saga. Pip says dirty nuke sniffers. Yeah. I've been trying to ignore them. It's really kind of taken on a life of its own. Chris Dixon says only snails, but not only snails. Good morning, Canadian Farmstead. You are late. Sorry, I'm late, and good morning. It's okay. Thanks for showing up even late. Appreciate that. So these drones, what has that been? Like a couple weeks now? These drones have been hovering over New Jersey, things like that. And no one's saying anything. And the people that are saying things that should know what's going on are saying that just absolutely ridiculous things. There was that representative or senator, I don't even know who he was, but he was a ding dong. He was talking about that Iran parked a ship off the coast of the east coast of the United States. It's a mothership, and they were releasing these drones every night, and they were coming and flying over the United States and not doing anything. I don't know how this guy got on TV and was able to say that with a straight face, but how would you expect anyone to believe that Iran is just sitting out there with a boat off the coast of the United States, and they're launching aircraft over the United States, and we're not doing anything, or we don't know what it is? Like for him to Canadian Farm says, I'm surprised they're not saying it's swamp gas, right? For him to come out with that explanation, I would probably believe aliens above Iran running covert, not so covert missions over the United States with nobody doing anything. Hunter asked a great question. Why do Jersey, though? Don't we have better things to stare at? Right? Pip says, anyone actually believe Iran would or is even capable of doing this? Right? So when this dude came out and said this, I'm like, okay, Rewilder, I've heard they were looking for nukes. That's what I'm wondering. That's kind of that's got my like 80% probability is where Canadian Pharmacist says the aliens miss Jersey Shore. I'm sitting on the 80% towards they're sniffing for nukes. They're looking for something. I saw actually 3 articles I read about reasons why it isn't A, B, or C, or why it could be this, that, or the other thing. And it really made sense that they're looking for something. Chris Dixon says maybe Iran's trying to find some good pastrami. Probably not. And Canadian Farmstead, yeah, they don't want to alarm the populace, but they're looking for something. So I went through this scenario in my head. I'm like, so is it better that we fly these drones over looking for a warhead or whatever they're looking for, and and people think they're aliens or people think they're Iranian or whatever the folks are thinking right now? Is it better that they're just out there making up their own shit, or do they go, yeah, we have really reliable information that there's a nuclear warhead in this area and that's why we've been looking for? What happens at that point? What happens when they tell the truth? What does the populace do? Or do enough people just don't fucking believe it when they actually say it, that they're just like, whatever? Would there be mass hysteria if the government right now said, hey, those drones, that's all us. We're trying to find something to save your asses. Somebody smuggled in a bomb. Would there be mass hysteria? Or would there be no reaction whatsoever? Or a mixture of both? I don't know. I really... Chris Dixon says Jersey, the new Maui. And Hunter is down the line of what I'm thinking. He says his first reaction is, what are they distracting us from? That's my reaction when they say something. But when they say nothing, my first reaction is, what are they hiding? So even if they come out with the truth, are we so... And Rewilder Life has another thing that I've been thinking that okay, I'll get to that in just a second. Even if they tell us what's going on, how much do we believe? How much that's the actual truth do we discount because of the source? Wilder Life's wondering if they're doing this in preparation for drone laws. maybe I was wondering if they're doing this to acclimate us to drones being overhead all the time. Do we not have enough surveillance right now that we need drones the size? And have you seen these things? They're fucking huge. Canadian Farm says, don't most places have drone laws? Yes and no. I think that any law could be more law in the government's eyes. We need more. Yeah, they're the size of cars. And they just send them to the redneck South. I don't know what you're going to shoot these things down with. Like, I don't know what size weapon you're going to need to take one of these things down. Hunter says drones are under the FAA. They got two regulations under the FAA. I know when I got mine, I got some really cool shots, and then I started looking into using the video, and it's such a fucking shit show. Depending on the weight of your drone and and all the different shit and what you're using the video for, it is absolutely infuriating that I can't take what amounts to a toy with a camera on it and do whatever the fuck I want with it. Yeah. I mean, I understand the need for knowing where these things are, for in-air collisions or blah blah blah. I mean, it's a fucking shit show. Hunter says not FFA. That's Future Farmers of America. the airplane one. Biff says, didn't they have drone surveillance in the movie They Live? I don't know. The wrestler with the black and white sunglasses. I don't remember that movie. Canadian Farm says, I'm sure the government has directional EMP weapons already. Yeah, but that's not flying the drones to the south and us shooting them out of the sky. Rewilder Life says, you're supposed to get permitted, but like always, someone can break the law and get away with it. Do they really have recourse? You're supposed to get licensed as a commercial pilot if you are flying a drone and selling the footage. And there are very large recourses as far as fines. Not from what I found, they have happened, but it's not as rampant as some folks make it out to be. But yeah, there are some companies that use drone footage for real estate listings that got some pretty significant fines because they weren't licensed as a commercial aviation operator. John Palmer says FCC and the FAA. Canadian Pharmacist says, I think it's based in Canada. He thinks it's based on size and how high it can fly. Ours is based on weight. Pretty sure. And Raleigh Life says they're doing nothing about these, which is, I think they're the government. Okay, so there's different from what I understand, and this is all not official. I didn't dive into the actual laws or anything like that. From what I understand, there's international rules about shooting down drones of other countries. There's some weird shit like you can't shoot down an unarmed. It's like it's not an enemy combatant until it's armed or poses a threat or something. I don't know. Hunter says, and only line of sight. I'm not sure what that means. Pip says, last I checked, $10 for registration. For the commercial one, it's not expensive, but you got to pass a test and get on a bunch of lists. So, I don't know. Chris says he had to register his drone and get licensed for doing roof inspections in Canada. It cost him $50. Yeah, so I don't know. I think they're looking for something. I don't know what. Somebody definitely there's been a couple of folks that are very versed in these things, that are saying that they are equipped with stuff that's sniffing out nuclear radiation, that's sniffing out different this, that, and the other thing. One interesting thing that I saw was that they're only there at night, and there are some specific pieces of equipment that work at night, better than during the day. John Palmer says the unarmed thing is because of medical flight. Maybe they're trying to get that changed. Rather less says, remember the weather balloons? Yeah, the fucking balloons that flew across the country or some shit. Canadian pharmacist says if it was Iran, they have to be freaking out behind closed doors. I don't know. It's weird times, guys. It's definitely weird times. And then there's the chance that they are aliens and they're coming out of the ocean, because that was one explanation that I saw multiple people talking about, was that these things are aliens and they're coming out of the ocean. I don't know. Hunter says the USA, we can only have line of sight drones. I don't know about that. I can fly my drone far enough where I can't see it anymore. That would be out of line of sight. I don't know. What is considered line of sight? I don't have very good vision. I can barely see the thing when I get it 20 feet above my head. It's China. I don't know who it is or what it is. And I don't know if we'll ever really know. I'm surprised people haven't taken shots at them. Or maybe they have. Is it all a psyop? Are these things... Is it all a distraction? What's going on other than this? Wilder Life saying it's always Atlantis, and Canadian Pharmacist says they're finally fed up with the pollution in the ocean. Chris Dixon says it's Canada. Baby Castro wants Jersey. Actually, Chris can't say that being in Canada. They'll come the gulag. They'll throw him in a gulag. He said Trudeau wants Jersey. I edit that to Baby Castro. Canadian Pharmacist says, I saw a video that looked like someone was shooting at one. Okay. I mean, Wilder Life talking redneck with Tannerite. I saw a guy on TikTok who I've watched for quite a while about a lot of different conspiracy shit. And he seems pretty solid on his stuff. he's a conspiracy guy that isn't talking about time travelers and earthquake giants and things like that. He's talking about links of companies and things going on that are triggering other things that are on purpose and blah blah blah. So he's more of a rational conspiracy theorist. And he's gotten into this, and he has talked about a friend of his tried to fly his drone up and get video of these drones and the shit show that ensued. Basically, it looked like an EMP hit his drone and it dropped straight out of the sky. The FBI showed up at his door the next day and wanted to confiscate his drone and took him for questioning. And last I had heard, this isn't something I've been checking in with all that often, but last I had heard the guy was still being questioned. So we'll see. I don't know. Canadian Farmstead says we've started to annex the northern states. Good for you. I mean, Kori and I have decided we're probably not going north of Tennessee anytime between November and May. Canadian Farmstead says they're about ready to unleash the polar bears with the lasers on their backs. Perfect. Bring them, bitch. Oh, man. So, I don't know what's going on with the drones. Pip says drone on drone action. Lasers. Oh, man. Do you think we'll make it till next week? What are the drones looking for? Something's gonna happen. Like you gotta know. Does anybody else have that feeling that with all the every time there's an election, so about every 4 years here, a presidential election, it feels like we're on the precipice of one side just fucking losing their shit and doing something, or another country losing their shit and doing something. And it seems like every 4 years, the vibe of that, at least from my perspective, has grown. And with Trump, and the whole and the way the country is today, I don't know. I don't know. Canadian Farmstead says, I tuned in this morning because I thought you'd have the inside scoop on the drones. I don't know. Nukes. It's looking for nukes. Been a bunch of earthquakes around here too, guys. New Madrid fault is about ready to rip off. I don't know. They had like seven earthquakes within 2 hours last week. Along the New Madrid, tiny ones, like 1 to 3 on the Richter scale or some shit like that. You couldn't really feel them, but rumble, grumble, grumble. Let's see what happens. Had the earthquake off the coast of San Francisco and had a little tsunami warnings there. I saw that the other day that San Francisco had the first tornado warning. The first tornado warning in the city's history the other day after having a tsunami warning like the week before. So that's interesting. The weather is just a shit show. Canadian Farmstead says, didn't check the Edgar Casey map before relocating. We're on the edge. I think we'll be on the edge of the hole here. Actually, we're on the wrong side of the river. We should hop the river and we'll probably be all right. Just a big hole in the ground. I think we'll be all right. I don't know what damage could really be done here unless a big cavern opens up in the earth and swallows us all. There's no high rises. I think that the tallest building I've seen around here is maybe 3 stories, maybe 4. I don't think there'll be widespread damage of buildings falling down or anything like that. And my house has shocks, leaf springs at least, and shakes regularly when the dogs move. So I think earthquake, we're really set up for earthquakes where we're at, us particularly. Crazy shit happening. Pip says it's totally global warming and not weather modification, right? And Chris says if John Cusack can run out of volcano in an RV, you'll be fine. Can outrun a volcano in an RV, you'll be fine. I feel more like Woody Harrelson in that movie than John Cusack. And we see what happened to Woody. He just went down with the ship. So we've had some big news around here yesterday. Was it yesterday? All yesterday or the day before and yesterday? This past weekend, we had a back the blue moment. We had an officer in a town close to here decided to respond. Well, I guess he didn't decide. He was called to respond to a suspicious person outside a home. When he showed up, proceeded to get in a fight with the suspicious person and then get himself shot and killed. So there was that. I believe that was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. They brought him home from Memphis after the autopsy. I didn't know what autopsy they have to do when the guy's got bullet holes in him, and likely died from from gunshots. I have to assume when he has bullet holes in him. But they did an autopsy, brought him back, and so the whole area all had their profiles changed with their back to blue, with their thin blue line and the black bar across it. And I was trying to figure out what happened. So I pop on Facebook. I got all these local groups on here because I'm trying to get, I try to get a feel for what's going on here, and also looking for some other shit going on. And so I joined all these local groups, and all I see in all these groups on Facebook is prayers for McNairy County and Selmer Police Department. And I'm like, okay, well, something happened. I'm curious what happened. So I see it's got 128 comments already. I was like, well, somebody's going to say in the comments. And, on Facebook right now, it's really the thing to put your post and put the link to the story in the comments, because of Facebook's, I don't know, I don't mess around and worry about all that too much, but that seems to be what I see, is the link is in the comments. And so I figured I'll click on the comments to see if there's a link to a news story about what's going on, why we are praying for them. And so I click on the comments, over 120 comments. I look at the first one, no story, no link to any story about what happened. And I was like, okay, well, at 120 comments, someone is going to say, first of all, someone's going to say, what happened? And someone's going to answer them. Or B, someone's just going to say what happened. I scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. Man, there are more prayers for this dude. He's dead. I don't think thoughts and prayers are going to bring him back. I guess maybe comfort his family. But 128 people decided to post the same exact thing. I don't know if this gives you brownie points with the guy in the sky, or how this works, but not one piece of fucking information in the whole thing. Had to go and dig in and go Googling to find what happened. But yeah, it sounds like he responded to a suspicious person, and the suspicious person ends up killing him. And then another cop showed up and killed the suspicious person. So there was that. And then yesterday, Oh shit, I think that hotel burned down in the last week too. Yesterday in Savannah, it sounds like there was a road rage incident. Violence is quite on fire around here. A road rage incident with a shooting with at least one dead in the town where I go to get groceries and do laundry and shit on a weekly basis. Road rage. Why are we killing people over road rage? Like, I don't understand this. What I've been pretty pissed in my day. Been in some accidents, Kori and I were rear-ended. We were sitting still, got rear-ended. The lady was going like 40 miles an hour. And I didn't ever have the intention of killing her. What is going on? Why Canadian Farm says, why is everybody so on edge? I don't know. Back-to-back days. Hunter says, I mean, I'm not saying they're right, just saying I understand sometimes. I don't know, though. To shoot somebody? Man. The world's cracking up, and I can't wait to just be sitting in the fucking woods by myself. Chris Dixon says it's the red and the yellow dye in our food. Do you guys don't have red and yellow dye in Canada? Interesting. Also, brand new hotel in Savannah. So when you come into Savannah down here, Savannah, Tennessee, not Savannah, Georgia, for anyone that wasn't sure. John Palmer, hold on. John Palmer says, I was told Catholics believe you can still pray for salvation of the dead. What are you saving? What is the salvation? Chris Dixon says there's no dye in seal meat. Blubber. So there's as you're coming into Savannah, Tennessee from the, I guess that would be the northwest, a big bridge comes over the Tennessee River. And a developer decided that he was going to put up a hotel there, and it was going up very fast. It was going to be a large hotel right on the river. I think they were going to run riverboats out of it and all sorts of. It was going to be a banquet center and you know, an economic boon for the area. The other day, all of a sudden, all my Facebook's lighting up with these pretty, I mean, really cool pictures actually of a huge fire caught on fire. The whole frame was up. It looked like it was going to be several stories high, 7, 8, maybe. The whole frame was up. It was all sheathed. It had weather wrap all around. They were working on the inside, I assume. And Mike's home said you get salvation from hell. Oh, okay. So the place was burning down. I was like, holy shit. And immediately all the rumors were starting in their groups. And the mayor actually came out and said, we need to wait for investigation to happen before we start talking about what happened. Immediately there was arson. It was the competing motel owners were worried about business, so they burned the place down. I don't know. But all week I was reading about this fire that they had, and I drove by it the other day, and holy shit. Talk about total consumption of everything that was there. The place was basically a pile of ashes. And I was like, that fire, this wasn't just a little tiny fire. Hunter says my first thought was insurance. That was my initial reaction, and I was like, I don't know. I think the guy would would have done a stroke of business there, and he's also saying that he's not changing the plans. So who knows? Canadian Farm says insurance lightning. I think it might have been competition lightning. Chris Dixon with a great comment, posting thoughts and prayers equals don't forget about me during your time of crisis. Right? What about thoughts? There's a little spittle there, don't worry. What about me thinking about you requires me to type out the fact that I'm thinking about you? This is like, stop. Just stop. When before social media, if you heard that a random person died, did you call them and go, I'm thinking of you, I'm praying for you? Now, if it was a close family member, I understand, yes, that happens, or an actual friend. But someone you've never met, some random person, some cop got shot in a town four towns over. Did you call the police department and go, thoughts and prayers? So fucking asinine. Thoughts and prayers. One like equals one prayer. You know, Jesus has got a big, is it Jesus up in the sky? The guy in the sky, he's got a fucking tally board up there. Another like, ting, ting. Oh, thumbs down. They must not have liked him. Wilderline says, you made a casserole. That was your thoughts and prayers. You thought about bringing the person something to eat because they were too distraught to make their own dinner. Right? Fucking thoughts and prayers. Can't wait to get up there and see the big Jesus scoreboard. Or wait, I'd probably go in the other direction. Is there a scoreboard in hell too? If you get enough of the fire reactions, you go straight to hell. Fuck, man. You ever sit around and wonder? Chris Dixon's got me a bunch of fire. You can Pip says, yeah, because God checks Facebook often. He set it up so he doesn't actually have to check Facebook. It's just a tally, Pip. You know, like you get the thing in the corner that shows how many likes and how many thumbs. That's just up there in the sky with him on the clouds. You can believe whatever you want. I don't really give two flying shits. And I can believe whatever I want, or not believe whatever I want. Chris Dixon says he's got a guy for that. But sometimes I sit around and I wonder. You got all the different major religions, and they're like, if you do this, and this, you get to go to the promised land. And the other religion thinks this, and this, you go to the promised land. Like sometimes I really hope that when I kick off, that I just don't end up in the dirt. That when I kick off, I like get to find out what actually is going on. Canadian Farm says, thank you for permission to believe whatever I want. No, I'm just saying I don't hold it anybody against anybody. I can also I don't know. Tom Palmer's giving me a shitload of fire. I just like when a Muslim and a Christian meet at the pearly gates, what are they thinking? Canadian Farmstead says, I'll send you a Bible so you can find out what happens after. I have one, dude. Just because I don't believe in it doesn't mean that I haven't researched it or read it. It's just like, whatever. No need to die. How did they write the book if they don't know, if they know? He's got a board and he's checking it thrice. Hunter says the same with Mein Kampf. You're well, right. There's a book. There's a lot of books. There's a lot of books that, I mean, look at what is the Book of Mormon there that Joseph Smith pulled out of the sky. That's been completely proven mostly wrong, right? Completely mostly. Didn't they pretty much prove that guy lied about everything? That's still a thriving religion, as far as I know. You believe what you want. People need something to believe in, I guess. It helps. It helps people explain why their life is so shitty. I don't know. Let's wrap it up. Get you guys, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about, let me know. I got a little bit of time here before I gotta log off. But if you guys got anything else we can talk about it, drop it in the comments. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping up here. Just a reminder, clip contest until January 31st on Director Detour. Canadian Farm says it helps us feeble-minded people. I don't know if that's it. I don't know if it's feeble-minded. I didn't say that. I'm not saying you're not intelligent. If you like, that's what you've read. That's what you believe. That's what you've been taught. Now I'll leave it at that. What do you think the adoption rate of religion would be if we started teaching it to adults instead of children? Honest question. If we let children experience life until they were adults and then laid out several religious paths for them, what would be the result? Canadian Farmstead says, I don't talk politics or religion. This is a new show, man. New show format. I don't talk religion because I don't have an opinion. It is what it is. Like, I don't participate. Canadian Farmstead says a lot of adults follow religion. They do. I'm not saying they don't. I'm just curious if we didn't the word is indoctrinate. If you don't have a choice and you're put into something from before you know better, and that's all you know in your life, there's a way different acceptance rate than if you are presented the same information as an adult and given the opportunity to analyze it and decide for yourself. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't accept religion as an adult. Not at all. I know plenty of people that have. I find that a lot of times it coincides with strife in your life and you're looking for answers. Hunter saw something that Poland is bringing back shooting classes into school. Shooting as in teaching kids how to shoot, or classes in what to do in a shooting. Pitt says, "I think I'm going to make a rubber duck religion and make bank." I've often considered starting a religion. I guess if I started it, it would be a cult. It's all who names it, I guess. But anyway, it's an interesting thought experiment. Hunter says how to shoot in elementary. Perfect. I have no problem teaching kids how to safely use firearms. Probably for the best. Duck and cover. Canadian Farm says, I would trust the desk to stop a bullet more than a nuke. I mean, there is that. All right, I'm done. I gotta get out of here. Check out Director Detour. Be sure to make a clip of that or this show to be entered in to win a Blockstream Jade. Check out Monday today, released Roy Coughlin. Wednesday, Royal Restrooms, David Sowers and Roman Fisher, performance coach on Friday. You can find that on all the major pod players, but catch it on Fountain. Make a clip. It's easy. It is easy to do. Other than that, check out the Telegram group at t.me/LotsChat. That's t.me/LotsChat. If you got Christmas shopping to do, if you'd scroll down into the episode description, find the Amazon emergency vehicle list on Amazon or coffee gear list on Amazon and click on those. Check out my storefront, amazon.com/shop/the Lots Project. Start your shopping there. That gets you into the affiliate tracking. Working on a website for that also. It is slow going for sure. Check out Fold Card, where you can earn sats for just using your debit card. And now buy gift cards with your sats. You can buy gift cards with Bitcoin or with your cash balance in the Fold Card. Lots of cool stuff going along there. And I saw that they just partnered with an insurance co-op. Health insurance co-op that I have to dig more into, but just saw the announcement the other day. Yeah. Beyond that, I hope everybody has a fantastic day, has a great week, and we will circle back and catch up with you next Monday.